Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I'm Bankrupt, joined once again by Jimmy and Fluff.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, beautiful people?
And today we're going over possibly the rest of Black. Maybe we'll get more later today, but let's find out. There's buttons. Feel free to click them there for a reason. But let's get into the first card. Begrudging Allies. It's a 2-cost counterplay. If the battle card being played has an energy cost of 3 or less, send it to its owner's warp instead. Additionally, if your leader card is black, send up to 1 battle card from your opponent's drop area to their warp. Permanent, if your life is 4 or less, you reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. So, kind of like a Super Kamehameha, but instead of taking a life, it will be a 1 cost, and it pops a card coming in and a card on the field.
This card's weird. Like it's both. It's almost like a side grade to Super Kamehameha. I think Super Kamehameha is going to be the choice for every deck. I think this has some niche things you might be able to, if you have extra space in the sideboard, throw it in, because I don't think people value drop area disruption as much as maybe they should, because there's some matchups where drop area disruption can like turn the tide for you. The restriction being the only restriction to a black leader is nice, because this doesn't have a specified cost, so you could run this in other decks, but I feel like other colors have better options for dealing with a 3-drop. But I think Super Kamehameha is just going to be the option forever.
Yeah, I read this card and I just think Super Kamehameha is probably better. Even though it's really not better, it's just probably a little bit more accessible for the decks that want to play it. Like, this could be a good floodgate stopper, plus disrupt the drop area. I mean, it's not a bad card by any stretch. I just don't know why you would choose to run this over something like Super Kamehameha.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, my brain read it, battle card in the field, not from drops to warp. So yeah, I take back what I said. All right. Next I'm going to go over is the unison we're getting. Demon God Poutine and Demon God Gravy. Treacherous Intent. Empower Black 2. Auto, if there are 4 more markers on this card when this card is played, your opponent just sends 1 card from their hand to their warp. Plus 1, activate battle up to 1. Activate battle up to 1 battle card in your combo area gets plus 5,000 combo power for the battle. Keep in mind, this archetype, pretty much you swing, you combo card from the warp. And so this way kind of gives an extra 5k there. Or -3 activate main, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and send them to the owner's warp. So for 3 costs, you're initially getting your 5k combo on whatever turn, or you're getting a board wipe, which a lot of times people tend to play like the green Vegeta, Majin Vegeta unison, which 4 energy board wipes a card, but that's double strike crit, where this is just a 20k single.
Another very solid card.
Yeah, it's not a terrible unison. I don't know if it's going to be the best unison possible, but it's not a bad unison by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. This can certainly rack up markers quickly, because as 20k, you're not really going to deal with it. It's difficult to deal with a 20k unison. The Empower is nice, so you might run a lower to the ground unison. It's being the activate battle on both turns. This is kind of also like a side grade to the Super Mirror Unison that we've seen with the Token Toa's list. It's also a 3-drop 20k that kind of plays with combos, because that one does spawn tokens that it can then combo off. So essentially, if you're only comboing 5k combo cards, you're going to have a 30k swing if you activate battle on this card's attack. But having that field nuke for 4 in black is pretty nice. Again, it's just a solid card. I don't think this is going to be breaking anything.
Absolutely worst case scenario, you pay 3 for this guy's swing with it, crack the -3, and then blow up the field. Like, that's not bad in and of itself.
Going to our next card, we have Demon God Salsa Dark combination. It's just your standard super combo for the black archetype, so nothing special. 4 less life, draw 1.
It's a salsa card. It will satisfy the effects of these shrooms that we saw yesterday. So I think this will probably be the super combo of choice within the list, just to give you the extra target for combo. And it's never a bad thing to have, a searchable super combo as well.
Mhm.
And keep in mind, with this deck being a Servant Overlord type deck, putting cards at the bottom of your deck may not be the best option, because that's what the Vegeta Super Combo would do. Unless you're putting one there that has Servant already. Going to more battle cards, Demon God Shroom, Dark King's Vanguard. This is a 2-drop permanent. If your leader card is black, Demon Realm Race, and there are 2 or more cards in your warp, reduce the entry cost of this card in your hand by 1. Auto limit 1. When this card attacks, draw 1, then send up to 2 cards from the top of your deck to its warp. Great early game, I feel like, because if I recall correctly, the leader's auto is warp 2 cards right away. So on turn 1, this card's valuable to play and gives you more cards to your warp.
Yeah. I talked about my fear of this archetype having the issue of running out of resources within the warp, but this card alone already kind of what's the word? I'm blanking on the word, but this kind of fixes my fear of having the warp being a limiting factor. Big would throw this card out for 1 and just start filling up your warp again. And this is on attack, and this is also not a servant, so you're going to get to swing with this multiple turns if it sticks around. It's just such a low body. Like, I doubt that a lot of people are going to expend resources on dealing with this guy. It's fantastic for the archetype. Filling the warp is going to be strong, and it makes me even more excited to play this deck.
And going into this card's counter, Demon God Salsa Dark King's Vanguard. It's a 1-drop auto. When this card is played, look up to 5 cards from top of your deck. Add up to 1 Demon Realm Race or Demon God card among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Additionally, if your leader card is black Demon Realm Race card, send up to 2 cards from the top of your deck to your warp. And the auto limit 1, when this card is using a combo from your warp, it gets plus 1000 combo power for battle. Just another good option for the swings, making it potentially a 6k combo. And as we said before, that 1k makes your opponent have to get rid of a secondary card if they don't want to take the damage.
Yeah, we've had a ton of these like searchers that find like Demon Realm God cards and stuff like that. But this card, goes that extra step, really supports the archetype. It does have that extra batted, where it's going to boost the combo step and all that. So I really feel like this card is going to sit well within the archetype.
Going over the next 2 cards, they're your basic skillless cards. We have King Vegeta, 2 energy cost 20k, and we have SS Bardock as a 30k. Just skilllesses because we need more skilllesses.
It's really interesting to me that they're still printing these skillless cards with 0 combo power. I wonder if that is to prevent shenanigans with Dark Brawly, or what the deal is, because it just doesn't make sense to me to take off the combo power off of these cards when every other color seems to have them. So I don't know what the thought there is.
I forgot they did that for the black skills cards.
Yeah.
There was a couple that did have combo power. I think the initial thought is that it would have been too strong with Kidku, but with Kidku being so far out in the meta, I think it's probably time that we can stop printing them like this. There's probably some other reason that it's like this, but that's above me. The only other thought is that these are non-specified cost cards with such a high attack power that it could be a balancing factor in that nature. But then again, it's a skillless card in a game where skills are very important.
Going to our next card, we got Supreme Kai of Time. Final battle at hand. This card, when your life is 4 or less, this card gains blocker, and it's just a cantrip. You just pay 1 to draw 1. And this isn't really bad late game, because a lot of times we'll have certain cards that you want to play early game for cantrips, and some cards like Basil is good for yellow towards the end game because it draws you a card and you activate main, get 2 swings. This right here, you pay 1 and then you're guaranteed 1 protection hit, as long as they don't have a way of just wiping it off the board beforehand.
How many 1-drop Supreme Kais have we gotten that is just like draw a card and do some other random bullshit?
We've gotten a lot.
I mean,
Yeah.
we literally have a Supreme Kai of Titan card that is a auto when play this card, draw 1 blocker. So I don't know why this card has the permanent if your life is 4 or less, give it blocker, when we already have a Supreme Kai of Time that is already a blocker.
Did we? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
a lot
Supreme-
of just like random ass Supreme Kai cards that are so low to the ground that do like fuck all.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. At least 4.
Going to our next card, we got Dark King Mecha Gabora. Final battle at hand. It is a 1-drop. It is Overlord. Once per turn. Auto when this card is played, draw 1 card. Additionally, if your leader card is Black Demon Realm Race card, send up to 2 cards from top of your deck to its warp. Activate main for 1 black 2 whatever. If your leader is a Black Demon Realm Race card, you may look at the bottom card of your deck. You may play it if it's Demon God card with Servant, and if you don't, place it at the bottom of your deck. Kind of like the one we saw yesterday. I think it was like a 3 cost or 2 cost. Just a little bit different flavor text.
One thing to note, the exact same art as the skillless Bardock, which is wonderful. Great reusing of assets there. But this is exactly what I wanted from the archetype, a way to replay out the big servant card that we saw, the big Shroom and Salsa servant.
Because the other one was limited, I thought, to 3 or
Yeah,
less.
the Z leader is limited to, or it might be this card. I think it's the Z leader that's limited to targeting a 3-drop. So that's the 3 drops that we got from the last reveal. But it is a steep cost of 3 energy, but 3 energy for the value of your big SR Shroom and Salsa is pretty solid. Like I think it's probably worth 3 energy, and this also being a 1-drop that you can just slam easily, and being a 1-drop Overlord that satisfies the effect of putting a card at the bottom of the deck. This is really good.
And keep in mind, not only has Servant, so if you were to do the Overlord to send it to the bottom of your deck, then you immediately activate main, or if you had to combo this from either your battle area. When this card is placed in your drop area from your battle area or combo area, you place it at the bottom of your owner's deck instead. So if you were to combo one off, it loads it ready for you to go whenever you're ready for it.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Jimmy hit every talking point that I was thinking on this card. 1-drop Overlord isn't bad. 3 is really steep in black for that activate main, but also you're getting the big 8-drop off of it. So that is probably worth it.
And the last card we got is kind of like the twin to Genius Craft, which is Reaper's Cunning. For 1 energy, activate main, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost greater than their current energy, send it to its owner's warp. Additionally, if your leader card is a Demon God card, send up to 1 battle card from your warp. One battle card from your opponent's drop to their warp. So where Genius Craft was energy cost less than your energy, and I think it was draw 1, I feel like. Where is that card? Yeah, draw 1.
Yeah.
So you don't get to draw 1, but depending on what you're playing against, it could be very valuable to do this instead. This card, much like the counterplay one we got, I feel like are just tech pieces for U7 is what comes to mind. Because if those cards get in their drop, you just like, no, I don't want to keep them there.
When I see Reaper's Cunning, I immediately think max power Kamehameha. Which card is going to slot better in any specific deck? Would you rather have the card that has the multi-purpose of being in a gate or removal of a big battle card, or would you rather have this that has the removal of a big battle card but disrupts the drop area? And I think that which card you choose is going to be dependent on the cycle of the meta. Are you playing against a deck that drop area disruption is important, or are you playing against a meta where having a gate is more important? And that will kind of tell the difference between the 2 cards.
Yeah. And it's also important to point out that with Gogeta being SS4 Gogeta being such a sought after and popular deck going into this next format, the 8-drop is affected by extra cards like this. So stuff like Max Power Kamehameha will remove the big invincible God 8-drop. So already within this set, we are getting more answers to that specific card. And again, it goes back to this is just a side grade of max power Kamehameha, which I don't know if max power is an expensive card, but if it is, this is a great alternative budget option.
Absolutely.
And that pretty much covers yesterday's reveals. Hope you all enjoyed. Keep in mind, there's buttons down below and place comments. Let us know how you're doing today. Philip, would you lead us out?
Absolutely. So now that we've seen a majority of black, we've seen all of red, blue, yellow, and green. What are you guys looking forward to playing out of the next set? Please let us know in the comments below. As always, read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to, and fluff out.